Conference will now be recorded.
Mitch Abernathy,
Here.
Corey Harvey,
Here.
I'm Mayor Lisa Roberts, and I am here as well. So now we will stand to the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, so our first thing is meeting minutes from January 8th and from January 23rd.
I move to approve January 8th and 23rd.
I second.
Any discussion?
I essentially will have to abstain if we're gonna do it both at the same time, because I wasn't
Oh, you were gone.
23rd one.
That's
That's fine.
Cool. We did a second.
yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
Okay. Any other discussion? Any comments? Any comments online? Nope. Okay, call the vote. John?
Aye.
Nikki?
Aye.
Corey?
I
Or you were supposed to abstain.
I abstained.
Department reports. Karen is, they've got a program going on at the library, so we will take Sir Jackson Goodman first, since he was first to arrive this evening. So, or actually, Stephanie was. So, okay, let's go. Oh yeah, turn your microphone on. Yep, till you see some numbers. There you go.
Is that on now?
Perfect.
Good evening. So I have all of our reports here. So total calls for service, we had 199 calls for service. Would you guys like me to go through the line items individually?
So, is there anything that stuck out that was odd or irregular?
For us, we had 3 warrant arrests, which was high. Major incidents are really the only thing that stands out. There was a lot of, so we had criminal mischief, theft, shoplifting, partner family member assault. We had 1 death investigation, 3 warrant arrests, 1 driving while suspended, an arrest was made, issuing a bad check, a suicide threat, and a harassment call. As far as proactive calls for service where stops are actively being made, it looks like we had 47 total stops, and between that, citations were 13 and warnings were 34. Various reasons for all of them.
Okay. Everybody loves a warning first.
Everybody
so.
does love a warning first.
Okay, yeah. Are there any questions from the commission or comments?
Yes, I'd ask how close are you guys to getting a contract with Sheridan for police services? Or how optimistic?
I'm going to say that's above my pay grade right now. So with me being the sergeant, I'm in charge of the patrol operations only. So that falls to the sheriff and under sheriff. So anything as far as patrol operations, I can answer those questions, but I'm not directly involved by any means with any of the contract negotiations.
Sure.
We're the last one standing, I think. You got one.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for being
problem.
here.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you guys.
All right. We will move to next report of zoning. Susie, you're up.
I think Eric's online.
Oh, is he? Okay. I did not see a,
He's online.
okay. I did not see a public works report. Eric, are you online?
Yeah, I emailed you my report.
Oh, okay. I'll look for it.
I, I even had this discussion on whether I should enter it myself or not. I didn't know if you want to look over it or what, you know.
Okay. What
But I,
address? Oh, but okay. Did you have it in front of you? Can you walk us through it, please?
I don't have it in front of me, but I'm sitting at home, but let's go ahead and go through this. We've been doing a lot of work with the meters. We have 2 guys. We're probably right now getting 5 or 6 a day. I'd like to see 10, but with the new letter it's come out, it's really jumped up there. So that's moving on. We got the valve out at Lagoon fixed. That went really well. We did have to rent a pump to keep ahead of what was coming into that vault, but it worked really well. Everything was safe. Um, Man, I wish I had it in front of me.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I don't see it in my email. Did you send it
Well,
today or yesterday?
that might have been my fault. I
And
thought I
I'm
said.
monitoring both emails, the mayor's old email, but it's forwarded to my email. So I don't see it here. So,
Well, I'm
okay.
honestly drawing a blank here. Anyways,
Well, you had a vacation, so you were
well, I had
first
it
time
done
in a while.
early.
So
I
yeah.
had it done early for you too. I was kind of proud of that. Anyways, say that I am really happy with the guys. I want to thank them for just the work they've been doing. It's been going really well. We're now starting to make plans with what's going to happen on the roads. We got a lot of crack filling to do. I think that's going to be a majority of it. Besides
A lot
the
of what to do? Sorry.
filling the cracks
Oh,
on
filling
the
the cracks.
asphalt.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I think, and if you're curious, I think we're going to rent a machine this year. The one we have, I know it has burned everybody that's used it, including me. It's pretty raggedy. Um, and we got a fire hydrant that cracked last week, so we're waiting on the new top and the new valve. Hopefully, we don't have to dig it up. We seen one today that has to be dug up. We're gonna address that fairly soon. Weather holding up, and everybody's been real busy. I'm looking good. We're getting stuff done, and I think besides the meters, we actually kind of got a little bit of a jump on this summer. It's been nice enough to do some stuff. So it's been
Yeah. I guess that's the silver lining.
that's the only one, right?
No
So
rain or snow clouds. Yeah.
Yeah, I had one of your workers stop by and do a GPS mapping of my water.
your curb stop. Yeah,
Yeah, the curb stop.
we're mapping everything. I think you guys should really take a look at that map if you're curious, because we have done, I don't even know how many hours of work we put into that. And it's actually come around and looking really nice. And
Well, great.
marking the curb stops is the last of it. We have an old file with these old cards that they were wrote in the 40s, and now we're just getting this updated, and we'll be able to find a curb stop in 5 minutes now. It should be pretty good. It's pretty proud of that map, so have a look at it sometime.
We sure will. All right. Will that be? Well, we can talk about that later, I guess.
What's that?
Publicly, just if it would be publicly available too. So.
Well, I don't know how many people we can publicly give access to,
Okay.
but
Okay.
but I think for sure we can definitely share it with the planning board and
Okay. Perfect.
any of you guys if you want. If you want, if you don't, it's easily shareable.
Okay. Great. Look forward to looking at that. Okay, any other questions
Yeah.
for Eric?
Hey, Eric,
Yes,
approximately
sir.
how many hours a day are our wells running right now?
6 total.
Oh, that's pretty easy going.
It is. It's great. Yeah, that's a big difference between summer and winter, right? I mean, that's grass. I mean, you could probably bump it up to 12, let's say reasonably, but the rest of it's all about grass and trees, you know?
Yeah.
It's a huge jump.
Do you have any plans when you are crack sealing the roads to pave any more of the streets in town?
Well, yeah, one has to be dealt with, I think. It's time. It's been a long time coming. It's a road that's not traveled, but Chowning Street that goes past there. It's been nice this summer, but that snow always melts and makes such a huge puddle. Last year, it was probably an inch away of coming over the road and hitting those businesses. So I think something needs to be done about that. And that's pretty much as far as paving right now, because it is so costly. Kind of letting that build up to get the road done as soon as we can.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah. And Nikki, my only worry about paving a road with the old AC pipe is that it's gonna have to be tore up pretty soon to replace that pipe. That's coming, you know. We got to replace that AC pipe at some time. And that's my hold up on paving any more roads. There's only one road in town that ain't covered, you know, it doesn't have AC pipe and it has PVC. And that's right in front of my house, and I'm not going to deal with that. So, you know.
Yep. Cool, thank you.
Yep.
Thanks, Eric.
Yeah, I plan on adding a lot more gravel this year also, just to get these gravel roads back into the shape they should be, because they're pretty flat and destroy really easy. So I think we're going to add a few more loads on a couple of them.
Great. Thank you very much.
Yeah, any other questions, you guys give me a holler anytime.
We appreciate all the work that you do and
Thank
your
you.
crew. Appreciate you painting the door and the posts.
Yeah, that was
have-
Ed. I let Ed know, you know. And like I
Yeah.
said, those guys have been so helpful to work with, you know. This has just been pretty much my best year so far. It's been great.
Glad to hear it. Great. All right. Well, thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you.
We'll go to Susie.
Okay, thank you. You do have my report in your packet. I did 2 zone site permits. Actually, I only did 1 zone site permit and 2 fence permits. That's backwards. Been doing sign compliance. Just somebody goes through town and sells these little open signs, and they have different buttons, and I did get a couple businesses that were blinking. We just had our planning board meeting on the T&D. It's for the Long Branch, and I'm not sure exactly what day the council will hear it, because the planning board needs to meet one more time. We reviewed the street bonds. It's a really confusing report that we've dealt with for quite a few years, and Eric okayed the ones that needed to be refunded and the ones he was going to keep. And there wasn't that many left, but I know Brenna did do some work to try to make it like in an Excel sheet, so it's way easier to read. For court, I entered citations, deposits, reconciled end of month, and processed end of month. about it. Any questions?
Do any of these permits include whatever's happening over on Clark and Pearl? I just don't even know what's going on over there.
Clark and Pearl.
Right?
Or the fan mounted behind the.
Oh, the dirt, where the dirt's
The
piled?
dirt
Yeah.
piles,
Yeah, no, there is no permit there.
Is one required? Or should?
Yeah, it's more of a compliance issue because it doesn't fit for anything. So,
Okay.
yeah, so they need to be contacted to
Yeah.
move out there. So, yeah, because it's not it wouldn't even fall under a conditional use permit.
Yeah, that's one of the plans is to try to do some compliance in the future, to go around and make a list of some that are in the right of way, or, just probably have more access than they should, and then we'll get them to the sheriff's department to make them compliant.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Is that it?
We had a lot of legal fees this go around, or was that?
That was probably me calling it. For
No,
sure.
That
court,
was only
court,
1,200.
Oh,
Yep, both
Yeah.
was high.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, the court one was high, I noticed.
Yeah.
So I think it's probably, I know it's a record for this court. There was many years, I don't recall ever getting a DUI, and I think just for this year, we either have 6 or 7 of them already. So typically for a DUI, they plead not guilty. So, that's, it's rare that they plead guilty on the first arraignment. And it seems like then there's more attorney work.
6 or 7 in town already.
Correct.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was like $11,000 worth of court fees.
Now, do fines go back to the town to cover that?
Fines do, but the surcharges go to the county.
Any other questions?
Got something I'd like to add. I did talk to Susie today about our street bond permit and the need to add curbs and sidewalks somehow in that. I think this is be a pretty, it doesn't ever state that, but when you're cutting into the road, you're tearing through the sidewalks. It's something I'd like to get put on that also at some time. I
Okay.
think it'd be good for all of
Yeah.
us,
Yeah, if you want to, if someone can send it to me, we can take a look at it, and then I don't know if it's in the code book or not.
It is not,
Okay, so we can just update the form as needed.
Yes.
It doesn't have to come from the commission.
because we've just been doing
Okay.
just the street part, and,
Okay,
they're fixing the street, they're just not fixing the curb, right, Eric?
That's right.
okay,
And but to me, it makes sense because, like, if you're going to tear the street up, you're going to fix the curb too, right?
yeah,
Yes.
of course, yeah.
Specifically, it doesn't state that, so I'd like to get that specifically stated on there. And maybe because there are so many curbs and sidewalks that are not going to get dealt with, at some point we're going to have to deal with, i.e., the North 40. I think
Yeah,
that
the only place we have curb and sidewalks.
I think maybe we should add that in there. Really,
Yeah, no problem. Send it over, we'll add it in, no problem.
sounds great.
Okay. All right. Karen's got a program, or Brendan was sick. Brendan's been working a lot on a lot of stuff. So she's working on the meetings, and you can see her report there. She's also been, these are going out tomorrow, which is every resident will get these, which is got a new payment portal. So just to let people know to do that. But she's been working really hard, coordinating with the Montana League to get them access to our financials, our STIP account, our ARPA account, all of that. So she's been quite busy. She's been looking into also website, updates and stuff like that. So she's really been diving in. So. Oh, there's Karen right there. So just in time. We put you at the bus. We moved it around. So yeah, straight into the fire, Karen.
Really?
Yeah, we're just going over your report right now. So
What can I
you're
answer for
obviously
you?
at a program.
Yes,
So.
I was at a program and I don't have a copy of my report, so can I answer any questions for you?
You want me to read your report? Programming highlights last month included our annual seed swap and Montana history buff and songwriter Ben Larson, who performed his tour of 56 counties show.
That was an amazing program. Amazing.
Cool. Facilities, nothing to report, but she does also list all the things, events in February. So let's
And
see.
if you're not on our newsletter, if I don't have you down for our newsletter, let me know and I'll get you on the mailing list. We have a lot of events coming up.
Let's see, for administration as well as desk and programming time. Erin is keeping current on grant reporting, getting our new 3D printer up and running for after school programming. That's going to be a hit.
I think so.
Well, we got one for Christmas and it has been quite
Oh,
the hit. Although it
excellent.
might go into his sales. He's been selling stuff. Okay. And you attended the Four Rivers sharing group meeting for the
Yep.
Montana State Library and,
Yep.
and working with the Friends of the Library on future programming and finances.
Yep.
Is that correct? And facilities, nothing to report. That's amazing. So.
Yeah. All is well.
Any questions, comments?
Okay. Thanks, guys.
You bet.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, up to me. So, okay, according to town code, I am supposed to give a budget report here in our second quarter. I think you saw there's the budget revenue versus actuals, short and long form in there. Currently, revenues budget, we're at 45% of our projected revenues, and that just has to deal with property taxes and how they get split into two payments from November and then May.
And we're at 45%, but we're halfway through the year.
Yep, so we're that, but on expenditures, we're 36%. So that is where we are at there. Also, got all sorts of reports. I got a balance sheet as well. I also have a cash report if you are interested in these. I can certainly send them over to you. So in our general fund, we currently have $599,000, $315.23. Operating in the library fund, we have $28,697. The STIP fund, I believe, says we've got $1,162.82. Oh no, that's the water utility. Excuse me. Water utility, we have $1 million. $1,091,162. And then in the sewer utility, we have 1.614. For some reason, we still have an ambulance operating fund at $227,392. And then the Mad Towns Fund, which we run, is 57. We got a payroll fund and a claims fund. So Total cash report is 4.4 or 4,400,031, $680.78.
Question for you. I'm looking at the balance sheet.
Uh-huh.
What the heck is dummy accounts payable?
So so Jody Rogers called me in a panic. She was fine because I was like, hey, can you run these over, whatever. She's gonna go back and fix that. It's an accounts payable. Why it's called dummy, I don't know. It's the same reason as to why is our internet called telephone and telegraph. Jody is committed to going through there. And now that we had trouble getting her access to the STIP account, but now she does, and now she's able to go back and reconcile and everything. So she's going to clean that up. We also have about 6 or 7 checking accounts. One is called now Jefferson County. No rhyme or reason. So we are going to work on cleaning that up as well. And because what we pay Black Mountain Software for is to keep track of all the different funds, what they have going in and going out. We don't need that many checking accounts. So we are going to, so that's part of our process of working with the Montana League is to get more efficient in there. And so then that way, whoever is sitting in these seats can know what it is about. So I wish I could answer for that for you, but I did not create that account, but it's just an accounts payable. I had the same question and she was mortified because she was like, I just sent this to the mayor. I'm like, it's really no big deal. So we will get that straightened out. Are there any questions from anybody else or public comment in that regard? Okay. 36%. Yeah. So we had our appropriation of 3.999543. We're at 2564410.
I have a question under assets, the skate park donations.
Okay. I think someone, yeah, I'll have to look into that for you, but I think someone made a donation to the skate park. To the
A huge one.
Say again, Eric?
I think it was a huge one. I heard it was like $100,000.
Oh, no, just on our portion, it's
Oh,
$789. Is that right?
Oh, shoot, give it to him.
Oh yeah, we absolutely will. So they're right there. The skate park's doing really well. They met their start threshold. They just got a
Awesome.
$50,000 gift the other night. So from the Montana Skateboard Association. So they're well on their way. I think they just have maybe $40,000 or $50,000 more too. But they are starting construction.
Don't they need to come back and see us?
They could.
I think when we originally saw them, we asked for,
Monthly.
yeah, we
Okay.
originally asked for monthly, but it was come back and see us when you have money. And then we figure out insurance
Okay.
and then with an architectural plan of what they want to do, not just like a,
Oh, sure.
drawing.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. I will let them know.
I think the plan, John, I think the plans are on their little website deal. Pretty sure they are.
They could still come here. Yeah. So. Okay. Any other questions on the budget report?
Thank you for putting it in there.
You bet. Jody was just throwing reports at me as I sent some over to Mitch because I was like, I really don't know what I'm reading. But if you have specific requests, just let me know and I will get that to Jody and she gives reports. I still haven't been able to really dial in the Black Mountain software as far as training goes. It's going to take some significant time to learn it and understand it. But I am more than but Jody's a whiz at it. So if there are any specific questions that you're looking at, we did look into your question. Remember what report that was on?
I don't know, what question was that?
Regarding the compensated absence. you remember what report that was on, I think that would be easier. And she said, Brenna looked into it and it was weird. It went in one fund, but it went out another coded fund. So, but we might not just be asking the right question to get what we're looking for is all. So. Okay. All right, claims. I do want to say it wasn't just my business cards that cost $100.
No, I saw-
It was it was the other 750 postcards plus business cards that we got for $120. It was actually a really good deal. Yeah. Myron, do you have
Yes,
questions?
I
or-
have just for clarification.
Sure.
Now, the DSI technologies is in place,
Yes.
total control.
Yes. They are working on 2 more passwords that they have to reset over the weekend. They didn't want to do it while people were working in case there were, so yes.
Are you back into the evidence files?
Almost. Yes, I can sign. I haven't signed it. They just figured out the password for me. So I can work this. So they figured that out for me. And then we needed a special VPN password that we had to coordinate with the county. We got that just the other day. And so I will be getting in there this weekend and working with Christine and Josh for the reports that they need.
It's just clarification.
Mhm. Yep.
And one other thing that, did you shred a lot of capital services cards?
So
The amount
for Chase.
I mean,
So yeah,
capital
so
services is so low that I missed it.
So it is so low because, so the former clerk was the only person in charge of that account. And so no one was able to make changes. So we weren't even able to authorize Eric's new card because of the $2 Facebook thing. So we basically have to close that account and we've applied to Valley Bank for a new credit card. So yes, it has not been really used. We've been using purchase orders, or I had to use my own personal card for that, for
Save the
reimbursement.
taxpayers' money.
Try my best, Myron.
Thank
Try
you.
my best.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other questions on claims?
I have a question.
Sure.
It looks like in there that our report is late for the AFR.
Yes, and then we're gonna, Jody's trying to get that back. It was because we couldn't sign into that account.
Okay.
So, and they knew that, and so she's trying to get that $50 back. So,
Okay.
but that's,
Oh, it's 95.
or 95,
Yeah.
yes, yeah. So that was the reason why is
Why it
we
was
didn't
late.
have access to that account.
Okay. That's
So, but I think nothing else pops up. I think we are all good.
Yeah.
So, great. Yeah. So, all right. So, do I have a motion on claims?
Move to approve claims.
I'll second that.
Any other discussion? No? Call the vote. Nikki?
Aye.
Mitch?
Aye.
Corey?
Aye.
Motion passes. What's that? Oh, I'm sorry, John. John?
Aye.
I'm sorry. Thank you. Okay. Next item, public comment on non-agenda items.
I just would like to commend the sheriff's department because the other morning I was heading for a doctor's appointment going out towards Bozeman. They had a patrol sitting there just past Family Dollar. And as I'm just about ready to make the turn, look in the rearview mirror and all of these brake lights are on. I mean, they're almost slamming into each other trying to stop because they were just a hauling tail going down there, and all of a sudden saw that car. Whoops, here we go. And then I'm coming back, they had somebody pulled over. And it's been so long since any law enforcement's been in Ennis that it scared me for a second. But I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thanks for your comment. Yeah. Thanks for your comment, Myron. Bruce, your time to shine. Yes. And you gotta hold it and wait till the numbers. There you go.
How am I doing?
Perfect.
Good. My name is Bruce Heiding. I'm here on behalf of the Madison Valley Community Center. I'm proud to say that we are moving right along on planning for the community center. We got approved for a 501c3 status, I believe back in December. And we are going full speed ahead, which includes a listening session. Our plan is to hold a listening session on February 19th, 20th, and 21st. And I've got a couple of flyers, if you don't mind me leaving these with you.
That'd be perfect.
We would like to invite you guys to our listening session, not only as town council, but we also want to invite our community to come and let us know. I think one of the biggest questions we're getting is, what are we doing with the community center? I think our reply has always been, we don't know, you haven't told us yet. So if you have opinions, we would love to hear them, whether they're good or bad. You know, these listening sessions are going to help us prepare for the future and hopefully help us in our endeavors to bring a community center to Ennis and Madison County. I also have, I don't know if everybody got a chance to see this. This is just a proposed rough draft drawing. We're trying to purchase a site right over by the softball fields, and this is sort of just a rendering of what we could be looking to do. Obviously, nothing is set in stone, but we just wanted to let everybody know that, one, we're moving right along. Two, we want to hear your opinion, and we do have a survey that's really informative and really helps us out. And three, make sure that everybody knows that this is about our community. It's not about the people in charge determining what to do. It's about us listening to you, you guys telling us our ideas, and us doing the best we can to fulfill on those promises. I think that's actually all I have. It's really important though this weekend.
Can I see a copy of that?
Oh, yeah, of course. In fact, I think I have other copies if you'd like to keep this.
Okay, cool, thank you.
Yeah. And I do, yes. Would you like a big one or small? And there's a QR code on there for our survey. I believe it's just a 5-question survey. It's real easy with a section for comment. We've already got 60+ surveys, but you know, the more surveys we get, the better information we get. So if anybody would take the time to take the survey, we'd certainly appreciate it. Does anyone else have any questions for me at all? All right. What's that? We have a website. Yes, it just went up. Thank you for noticing. Yeah, you know, with a little bit of luck, we should be able to really move forward and progress through this in the next year. So, grants, a lot of grants, fundraising. We're working with, we're trying to procure the Bannock Group for fundraising, and that should be finalized here in the next week or two, hopefully. And they're going to help us reach out to the community and see what we can do for grants, for funding, and anything else we might be able to do. So, thank you. Any other questions?
Thank you.
No, that's great. Thanks.
Yes.
Hey, can one of you guys grab one of those for me, please?
Yeah, I got you. Can I just sit right here?
Perfect.
Would you like one?
Not a word.
This is
Can
at
I
the
buy that
library.
from the Bishop?
You're listening.
Anybody else want one?
This is going to be at the library, Bruce?
Yes,
Yes.
it'll be at the library, and it's different times. We're also going to have the Friday one. We're going to do a streamed version, a live stream version, so that people can interact and attend even if they can't make it to the library. That's the 20th at 12:30.
That's okay. No, I think
I'll
there's
let Mike
enough going.
put this up over at the sportsman's.
Thank you, I appreciate it. John, I think I already dropped one off.
Yeah, I think, yep.
Great work. Thank you so much. All right. Our next item is appointment to the Baking Commission seat. I believe Commissioner Way, Commissioner Hankins did their interviews with the potential commissioners, Christy Ranson and Stephanie Selly. And so I'll let you have the floor.
Perfect. Thank you, Lisa. We were tasked, Commissioner Hankins and I were tasked with interviewing the two people who applied to be on the commission. Both of them are extremely impressive individuals. And it was, difficult to make a recommendation because they were both ex-commissioners. They both sat in these seats before and made these decisions, and they both bring unique strengths to the equation. So it was kind of difficult for us to make a recommendation. We then talked with the mayor, trying to figure a way to skin this cat and make a decision. And I think we've come up, and I'm sorry, I'm speaking for you.
Please do, you're good.
Okay. And I think we came up with a way to do it. So it is our recommendation at this time, looking at their past and their qualifications and their strengths, to recommend that Christy be appointed to this commission. And we asked Stephanie, with all her experience in building and development, would be a prime example for the planning board. And I think she would fit better there because she has a whole lot of experience. And I haven't spoke to her about this yet. We just talked about this with the mayor today, and did the last interview today, but we were trying to weigh where the experience fits. And that's our recommendation of what we came up with.
Yeah. Questions? They're both here in the room, so I don't want to ask them questions if they're open to questions.
Yeah.
I have one for Christy. Christy, do you plan on sticking around for a term? How's that?
It's 2 years.
Oh, yeah, I guess we should say that. It's a 2-year
Is it?
yeah, it's a 2-year term, 2-year appointment.
Yeah, and I guess regarding the planning board, we are down to Susie what is your title?
Non-voting member.
Not a non-voting member, so we currently kind of, there's 4 of us on there, and I think the more the merrier for asking.
Well, there's some big things coming up through the planning board too. So there's annexation policy, subdivision regulations, zoning regulations, and that's where a lot of input will be needed as well. Working with Cody Marks, or the county's willing to do the work or help us do that, but we still need that local input and stuff. So yeah, if you would be at all interested, I think that would be a significant contribution. So. Making a motion.
Oh, is that what you're waiting on?
Yeah, I don't know. Or if there's any just more discussion, we can make a motion, or if there's any more questions of either of the interested parties.
I'll make a motion to appoint Christy Ranson to the commission.
Second.
Any discussion? Oh,
I'm kind of looking. You're okay.
all the votes. Commissioner Abernathy?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Right, well, thank you both for your contributions. Thank you for being willing to serve. So, and I printed out both because I didn't know.
I want to say thank you both for taking the time to meet with us this week. I sure appreciate it. I appreciate the time getting to know both of you. It was time well spent.
Okay, Christy, if you want to, are you up for taking your oath of office? Then okay. You can join in on the discussion. I state your name.
I, Christy Ranson,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support,
that I will support,
protect, and defend
protect, and defend
the Constitution
the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the, and the Constitution of the state.
and that I will discharge the duties of my office,
And I will discharge the duties of my office
Ennis Town Commissioner,
as town commissioner.
with fidelity.
I didn't mean to speak for you.
No, you're good. You did great. You're way better public speaker than I am. Thank you.
Our next item is kind of a general discussion about water sewer rates, surge charge rates, and the radio read water meters. So looking through chapter 10 of our code, it might behoove us to repeal and replace. That's where the pre-treat ordinance is. Eric has expressed a desire for more clarification as far as some of the classifications through the pre-treat ordinance. And like other parts of our code, it's not really user friendly. So that's just the general discussion. And then water and sewer rates, I was on a call today with the Department of Commerce, DNRC, Colette, and just getting the conversation started about the water and sewer rates. We will need to increase them because in our CDGB grant that we received $750,000, it was a requirement that we meet the target rate. It also from the MSEP grant, which is the Montana Coal Endowment Program. And also because of the SRF loan, which is the state revolving fund loan. That's a loan, but it has the potential for $500,000 of forgiveness. So we will need to be at the target rate for that.
When the project's completed.
When, so starting June 30th, I believe. So yeah, when the first phase is
Oh,
completed.
when the first phase. Now, I thought
Yes.
it was when the whole.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Well,
gonna say,
and
what's
it's
the time crunch on this?
so what they do, so what the bond council does is they figure out once we bid the second part of the job. So with the state revolving fund, the sooner you implement the rate change, the higher likelihood it is that for a better loan forgiveness. So what they do, it's a bit of a process, is the bond council, after receiving the bids, then that determines, so if our bids come in high or if they come in low, they look to see what your debt is and how you're going to pay that debt off based on what your rates are. And so if our bids come in high, then that means we're going to have to contribute more through our rates. It's like your income. You know, if you take out a car loan, they want to make sure your income is sufficient to pay off your loan. So they will determine the rate that way. So that's after bids come in on the second part of the project. So maybe it's not by June 30th, but it's after that portion. So then we would need to pass a resolution of intent that we were going to change the water and sewer rates, publish and mail notice to all users. That will happen. And then we'll need a rate public hearing. And then we will need a bond resolution for that rate. So, and that's everything that the bond council takes care of for us. And they will come down to the public hearings and answer questions on how they came up with the math. When the CDGB grant was applied for last year, the approximate target rate is $116 combined water and sewer. However, that is not base rate. Okay, so usage rate comes into that as well. So that is what they were thinking at that time, but it could vary just depending on those things. It is interesting to know that the town of Ennis, they took towns our size and averaged out target or usage rates and whatever. We've been paying less than half of the average of what other towns our size pay. So, and I mean, it makes sense because we haven't raised our water rates in the 20 years that I've been here. So, and it's kind of like, well, do you raise rates and then put that money away, or do you raise rates when you actually need to, and people can see that the work is being done? So,
Well, hasn't this discussion been had of increment, like doing it in steps?
I not when I was on the commission. I don't, and I didn't, it could very well could have been, but nothing came of those conversations. So we're having to bite the bullet, if you will, at this time. So
Yeah, I remember we once talked about doing like 2 steps to get there.
Yeah.
But I think we never did step 1, so now we got a really like big step next.
Yes.
So is it just like the amount we charge per gallon?
No, so they will figure out what their base rate will need to be and then what we charge per gallon. So our base rate will go up as well.
See, our base rate goes up 2% every July 1st.
Okay.
And it has for many, many years.
Yeah.
So,
but obviously it wasn't enough to
right.
To make up.
Right.
Yeah.
The per gallon hasn't changed in a really long time.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's right.
Okay. So I'm just letting you know that that's coming down the pipe, literally. So on that.
So is there any way, I think, recent takeaway from looking at when you actually put a job up for bids, when you do it in the middle of winter and everybody has time to do estimates, you get more participation. I'd be curious. I think you mentioned June 1st.
Well, I think further down on the agenda is the contract for Great West Engineering. So phase 2 has we have to secure the land first for phase 2. So that will be as though, then I was able to be not to get off topic, but I was able to be in contact with those landowners, and I'm optimistic that we can work together,
I spoke to them last year. And they
collaboratively to work stuff out. I think, so I'm hoping to have a conversation with them at the end of next week or the beginning of the following week. So we just have to work something out. So that's our first thing, and then we can move on to design, engineering, and then bidding it out. So, and then we'll have a decision to make too, I guess, the cost of the commission originally chose a concrete tank, and maybe those have gone up in price substantially. Yeah.
That's when I was right before
Yeah, so Colette is talking about that we would bid out both types, a concrete tank and then a glass line steel tank. So, and just to do the cost comparison, but then you look at longevity, I don't know, there's probably other factors, but we'll weigh those pros and cons when the bids come in. So, but we can bid it out both ways, ask them to bid it out both ways. Yeah. So that was just kind of just a synopsis of what needs to happen. So there's nothing to vote on with that portion. And then the radio read meters. So sure, maybe some folks have gotten letters about replacing their meters. I wasn't familiar with the whole program, so I'll kind of run through it. Those that were on the commission may be very familiar. So if this is a repeat, I apologize. So the town applied for, it's called a SLIPA grant, something like that. It's a state loan, something, it's through the Department of Commerce that we applied. It's a matching, it's a reimbursement, and also requires matching funds. So, and Mitch probably won't like this, I'm going to use round numbers, not exact ones. So we got about $88,000. We had to put in $27,000 for these new radio read meters. So the town of Ennis purchased 325 of those meters. We currently have 750 users. It was determined when the grant was applied for that it was for the oldest meters and non-functioning meters. Does that ring a bell with you guys? Yeah. Okay, so that was 325 of them. So we are currently, and to make up the match, users, those 325 users, if they sign up and get one installed, that was what Eric was talking about, is installing these meters. The meters will only be $85 and a few cents. And so he's hoping that more people will sign up. We have given them, I believe, until the end of February, when we sent out there was a letter sent out in November or December. And then there wasn't very much response to that. So Brenna resent out another letter.
Was there a letter or is she adding it to the water bill?
It was a letter.
Okay.
Because they have to come in and pay for it, but they can do a payment plan for it if they want. So, and it was only to specific users. It was only to 320. It wasn't to everyone. It was only to those users that were identified earlier. So it was those 325 users. There weren't that first letter didn't gain much response. And I was like, well, I work well with the deadline. I need a deadline. I was like, so sent out another letter saying, hey, you have until the end of February to schedule this, either pay or set up a payment plan. And so we're hoping that those 325 will be done in the next month or a couple months, that we will at least get them all scheduled out and get them installed. As you heard Eric, he's hoping they're getting 4 to 6 a day. They're hoping for like 10 a day. So then that way in the next 2 months, we could have all 325 done.
If I recall right, there was some kind of a installation fee or like a. Do you recall? Did you see that?
I don't
Nope.
think so.
No, we're not.
Yeah, Eric's not. There's no fee. So Public
There's
Works will
no
come.
fee. We are coming in, installing them. I myself was underneath the trailer this morning. We're not messing around with this. We need to get them in.
Okay, and are they mostly exterior meters or do you have to come
No,
into the house?
all the meters in Ennis are interior meters.
Yeah.
To have an exterior meter, you'd have to have, I would bring up twin bridges. They all have meter pits outside their house with the meters in them. But
Probably going to be weather protected.
yeah, right. And yeah, everything's inside, and that's the unfortunate part about it. It just gets hard. Scheduling, like, not only do you have 300 meters to put in, you know how much scheduling Brenna has had to put up with, and she's been great. It's been such a huge amount of work, so we are not charging anything for it.
Yeah. Okay. So, and Eric can, if homeowners have the ability to install it themselves, can they do that?
Yes, they can.
Okay.
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay.
No problem. They're that easy to put in.
Okay, great. So they're easy. So hopefully we'll get the next couple of months, we'll get 325 users onto these radio read meters, which is ultimately going to help us be more efficient. It feeds right into the Black Mountain software. Currently, the public works staff has to walk around, read the meters, they bring it back to Brenna, she manually enters it. So there's a lot of, work hours going into getting those utility bills out. So
I'd say it's 4 solid days of work every month.
yeah, for 2 or 3 of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With rereads and all, it's probably 3 3 or 4. It's every month though. We have to put that time aside, and if we could do it in 20 minutes,
yeah,
it'd be great.
So that's 325. So then we will have, and the current cost, the actual real cost of a meter is it $427?
Yes.
So we
23
have to,
something, yeah.
so we have to figure out for the next batch of 425 meters for the next set of users.
We've been doing this.
No, so we just got the grant. So people have had to replace their meters probably onesie twosie, but maybe they've talked about it for a while, but they actually secured the grant this past late spring or summer. So my question is to us, how do we want to move forward with the next 425 meters? Because those first 325 folks,
It's a one-time grant.
I don't know. I can look and I just found the information.
Yes.
It was just a one-time grant. So that was through the Department of Commerce. There may be other grants available. I'm not sure. So I could use your help into looking into that if there are other funding possibilities. So for this next round of meters.
Um,
I honestly
What
feel
would
like
this replace all the meters in town
Yes.
with radio reading.
Yes.
So we go and buy another 400 of them and then we put them in people's houses and charge them $450, where the people with the oldest ones paid
85. Yeah.
So that doesn't seem fair to someone who has a nice
Uh,
meter.
I agree. So I'm just trying to like, how do we make it equitable for, I mean, I guess we can, yeah. So that's my question to the commission on how we want to handle this. Because this process has already been put into motion. There are a couple of ideas that we were tossing around. We have a piece of property up in Antelope Meadows with the old water tank on it that has just sat there for a long time. Do we investigate selling that?
We probably need to anyways.
Yeah, it was a question like maybe I should put out on the mayor's listserv, like, do we sell this? Is there any, I tried to reach out to people I need to reach out to Dick Barr. He was the mayor at the time. And so just to get their thoughts of, what was your plan for it? Do we need to plan for it? Is it a bomb shelter? It's 20 feet deep. And how big is it, Eric? 20 feet deep and
It's pretty 2012, but it's 3 acres.
yeah, it's 3 acres. It's substantial. So I'm just looking for ideas. If you have ideas on how we can make it equitable for the rest of the users in the town. Because I know if I just randomly got a $450 bill for a new meter, I'd be a little disgruntled. I was fine with it. Lincoln was not happy. So we could also do a payment plan. We could stretch it out for folks. But I don't know if that's equitable either. So I will take your ideas on that.
So the initial 325 were just the oldest meters, and we were replacing those.
That's how I wasn't involved in that decision. So Eric, is that how you determined which users would be getting the discounted meter?
At that time, we had a lot of non-functioning meters, and then the ones that have the old readers on them, and I'm not kidding you guys. I'm not kidding you. Industry standard is every 10 years replacing. We were pulling meters older than me out today. And not kidding. So that's why we're hitting with the older ones first. But that is exactly what we had brought to the council, was to make sure those older and non-functioning meters were handled. Yes.
So if it's every 10 years, we're gonna be replacing meters for $500 a piece, and then we'll
Yeah.
payment plan.
Yeah,
So you have one you gotta pay.
Corey, it's the town code. That's why it's getting handled this way. It's how this town does it.
So
You
just
can,
a quick math, 400 meters at $400 a meter, 400 meters at $450 a meter, $180,000. 325 meters at $85 a meter. If we sold them for that, it's 27,625. Add those together, divide that by 750, the total number of meters in town, and it comes out to $276 a meter. Why don't we just up the price of the ones we're selling right now to 276, and they go for 276 from here to forever to do all.
Because it was already, because it was already implemented back in November or December. Those folks already gotten a letter that says it's $85. 325 people have gotten a letter.
Well, I got at least 2 for the shop, so.
Yeah, so they got 2, so so like I said, they got a letter in either November or December. And then, being in the office, I was hearing that, hey, we're not getting much response on this. We need to replace it. And I was like, send them another letter, and give them a deadline. So then I work well with the deadline. I think most people do, instead of just saying, call us sometime, we'll replace your meter. So that was the deadline. So we can reassess after the deadline and see how many were replaced and how many weren't.
Yeah.
So, and then we can split the cost over that.
Exactly, yeah.
So, and I don't know what the parameters of the grant were, if it was only for the non-functioning and oldest meters. I did not read through that grant and how it was applied for. So, I just actually found the paperwork going through emails. So,
I remember that whole conversation, and then the ultimate question was, who's gonna own these meters? Is it gonna be the town or the person?
It's a
Yeah,
person.
do you remember this?
I don't remember being at the.
They sell their house or they take the meter with them?
No,
It's in their house.
no, that would be considered a fixture, so it would convey with the sale. So, and I think the difference, because Brittany and I were talking about it, because she said there was a lot of discussion about this, and she's like, oh, well, Northwestern Energy, blah, 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 blah. I think the difference is that this is a user-based system. It's not a for-profit corporation. We are all owners of the system, essentially. And so that's the difference between, the meter at your house for your water versus the meter at your house for the electricity, is because Northwestern Energy is a for-profit company, and said we're all contributing users, and essentially we're all owners of this system. So I don't know, but it is in our town code that users pay for the meter currently. So not that we need to decide anything tonight. I'm just putting it out there. So maybe this is, I like to talk about things, and so no one's surprised by anything. So we will need to make a decision at some point on how we want to deal with it. So
I don't remember being told that it was matching.
Yeah.
Am I crazy?
Yeah, it definitely was brought to you as a matching grant. All of that was.
I do
Yeah.
remember the conversation, but there's things I don't remember, so.
Well, we don't have to match the 83,707 that they sent us. We just had, so all we have to cover is the 26,000 that we had to pay to get this grant.
yeah, it looks like it's like a.
Okay.
That's why they're at $84.
Okay.
I've heard all of this conversation, but I've never heard of a seen a letter discussing it. That's gonna cost me close to $500 to change my meter out.
Myron, you have a newer meter.
You're one of the,
Thank
you're
God.
good for now. It's not a good meter.
Yeah, you're good for now, but it's coming
Yeah.
down the line eventually.
Myron
10
has
more
one of
years,
the newer
Myron, you're gonna
meters.
need another one. Yeah.
So in 10, well, do I have 10 more years or should I start saving now? When is it gonna have to be changed?
Every 10 years is what they're supposed to be changed at.
Yeah. I'm
And that's
probably gonna sell
actually-
my house just before.
So,
Well,
and
all
also,
I have to do is to pay for the meter.
there's something to be thought about that. And here's why it's 10 years. The warranty on those meters is 10 years.
Oh, so you can get a free one within the warranty range.
Not really free. I mean, they'll send you parts to rebuild it, which we do, but there is a warranty going
Anyway.
through them.
Food for thought. Come up with ideas to how we want to deal with that.
I say we slow walk the ones right now, so we have more in play to make the average better.
Okay. We will, once we have that deadline, then we can work with the math and I'll give you an update. Okay, next part of chapter 10 is surcharge rates. So currently, this has to deal with our wastewater system and how, and it's measured out. There are biological components to our wastewater system, basically suspended solids, and then BOD, which is biological oxygen something. And that is measured in our current code says that if you are over typical household numbers, which typical household is less than 200 milligrams per liter BOD and 250 milligrams total suspended solids, that you have to pay a surcharge. And it's done milligrams per liter. In some varying towns, it varies quite a bit. It's anywhere from 3 cents per 1,000 gallons at, a higher rate, or up to like 67 cents. So, we have been asked to, well, it's part of our code, so we need to determine these surcharge rates. There are also some users that have been over this, and so they were asking us to determine the surcharge rates. However, I don't believe that just implementing, because surcharge, whether you call it a surcharge, a penalty, or whatever, I don't believe that just incorporating a penalty fee into your cost of business is the way to go it. So there's a couple ways to go about it. We can, do that with the surcharge fees, because maybe you have 1 or 2 months that something happens, but it shouldn't be consistent. So we can say something to the effect of, if you pay it more than 4 times in a year, then you have to figure out some other way to get rid of this waste that has more suspended solids and more BOD than our system can handle, or not system can handle, that is more than over household levels.
Can we do like graduated surcharge rates?
Sure.
Meaning that if the average household is 200, if you come in at 400, it's this. If you come in at 1,000, it's this.
I'm sure you
plus
can set it
this.
up however you want. Looking at multiple municipalities, it's all over the board. So
It definitely is. I question. I like the idea of categorizing users like industrial, residential. I like that. I think I question a surcharge.
Well, in 10.4.4 of the document that's listed as 8B, they offer a suggested calculation, which is you charge based on the size of the water line that's going to the building. And then there's a line size, 3/4 by 3/4, multiplier 9/16. So and they assign a 1 to that. I mean, there's all kinds of calculations in here, but it's basically with saying with Eric, if it's a commercial building and the line going in is bigger than it does into a home, their surcharge is more than what a home would receive.
But I would imagine that there's probably a lot of outdated commercial that have not been upgraded also, right?
I have no idea.
Do you think that's the case, Eric? There's quite a few commercial users that haven't been upgraded to a larger pipe?
So they are getting charged per size of their water line. Yes. Right now, like that's how it's set up. They get charged, their base rate goes off of that size. And
But what she's asking is, do we have any commercial buildings that are on a residential size line?
yes.
Outdated
Yes.
essentially, and probably
Yes.
quite a few.
Yeah.
No,
And that's why I say I think maybe categorizing them and setting the rates then. But you got to understand too, like why this is even going on is because of one business. We wouldn't be having this conversation if we didn't have a problem. And that brings the question to me, do we really need a
It's
search?
all gonna get shared. Yeah.
No, you wouldn't get penalized unless
Because your levels would be normal.
there's an issue, because your levels would be normal. You wouldn't get penalized. This is if you're over and above. So if you're just flushing a toilet and using a sink, this is for
not water usage.
It's not water usage. It's
Sewer.
the contaminants not contaminants. It's the biological concentration of things in the. That's only if you're over the limits. Yeah.
How are we gonna test each line's limits? I mean, is someone gonna
So
jump into the sewer coming out of a house and test it? I mean, how do
Yeah.
we do that?
Yeah, so I think it is for, and this one, I believe in the code, it's for industrial users is the surcharge rate.
Okay.
It's not,
Residential.
it's not for residential. It is.
I can do the testing, no problem. But it is a free.
You're testing from the lagoon, right?
No, I can test right behind him. I honestly have tested behind more businesses than they know already, just so I know what's going on.
And the pre-treat allows for that. The pre-treat allows for right of entry. Yes. So, okay, so I'm in chapter 10. It's accurate.
Yeah.
Let's see. Sorry, I'm just trying to look.
Yeah, 10.4.3 says the town or its engineer will assess a surcharge rate for all non-residential users discharging waste with BOD and TSS strengths greater than the average.
How
That's what's
frequently are you
throwing us
testing,
up.
Eric?
What's that?
How frequently are you testing these?
Well, I haven't in a while, but I know where I'm at right now with.
But I think if we're gonna have a surcharge, I think you have to have a designated, you're checking every month, once a month, twice a month.
That's exactly my point. Rather than having a surcharge,
Just have penalty.
categorize industrial, residential, and there's 5 categories, and I think a surcharge would also urge people just to meet that and pay the fine when we all know what we're dealing with and what we're pumping it.
You have to fix the problem.
Well,
Period.
I agree with the mayor that we should not call it a penalty.
No.
It needs to be a surcharge.
You categorize, yeah, you categorize your users, and if they need to be over, but it's important that if I have to test them, that's fine. But I don't think the town should pay for this test if you're definitely an industrial user. You know,
So maybe it's that we require industrial users to test.
or and if even if they themselves they could do it themselves also.
And then submit it to you. I'm not sure I would.
Yes, they can. The lab can send that right to us.
I feel like if it's a surcharge, maybe we should be doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you have to have, if you're going to go surcharge, you have to have a lab sample. Well, I mean, I guess you would. Depends on how you went. Most surcharges are based off of pounds per day or milligrams per liter. So if you're at 380 milligrams per liter and you should be at 250, then you get charged per. There's been a lot of it's so random and all over the place, like Lisa said, on all the other towns we've been looking at. It's hard to find. I think I found actually one in the whole state that really resembles us, and it's outdated too. So
This document states that charges will be billed to users on a monthly basis.
So does it need to be tested monthly?
if you go that surcharge route, yes.
Do you
If
have time
you
to designate
if
people to
you
do that?
if you set the surcharge at so many milligrams per liter over, or so many pounds per day over, because that's what it's based on, not the amount that's coming through. It's based on the toxicity of what we're getting, like
The concentration.
concentration. Yes, there you go. That's what it's based off of. Yeah.
Do you have time to dedicate monthly testing to this if you're just getting rid of reading water meters? So
I
this is just
do.
gonna add more onto that.
I have to do testing once a month, anyways. And it legit, it's a whole day. When I have to do my tests, I'm gone a day. It's every month. I don't.
So I guess just so I understand, is this not like timing is everything type deal? If some certain business is dumping more like on second Tuesday of every month, or, I mean, how do you, it used to happen in Missoula where they could emit more pollution into the air.
Oh yeah.
At time
That's,
versus,
human nature. You're gonna find a way around a problem, right?
well, you keep it random essentially. You don't know when,
right.
Don't let anybody know when you're doing it.
And
we can also look at other.
So I do know that
it was just that yeah.
I do know, like, the bigger towns that do have these surcharges are not doing the testing themselves.
Oh, okay.
People in the businesses are actually submitting the testing. Just like we do with the state, same kind of deal.
Eric, you're the expert at this, and we're not going to obviously make a decision on any of this tonight. Could you put together what your recommendations are in a plan and get those to us? So, as the expert and as the person who knows how much the testing costs, what the testing entails, all that, you say you're not in favor of surcharges, but doing it with industrial users versus residential.
Yeah, and
That
I
plan
think
together
no problem. I'll do this.
recommendation to us.
Yeah. Just give me a couple days and I can definitely give you my recommendation. Lisa and I started looking into this a while back and it's really been resonating. So I do what I think, but the surcharge thing bothers me for a reason. They're just going to pay the fine, not help our lagoon or the town out in any way. That bothers me about surcharges.
Yeah, I
Well,
guess.
I beg to differ because being an accountant, if you've got someone looking at your monthly expenses in a business, you don't want to be paying more than you need to, and you'll find a way not to pay. Whether it's pre-treating before it hits the sewer or whatever it takes, most businesses will find a way to mitigate.
So I think to that note, I think the surcharge, we need to figure out the math as to what makes it where they're going to, do everything they can to avoid
Avoid
it.
it, yeah, right.
If it's an extra $30 a month, they're just going to be like, oh, well,
Yeah.
we'll just pay that,
If it's
so
substantial.
they're going to do costs.
Yeah, and the
But-
examples that we found from other towns, like I think the highest one I figured out was maybe $100 more when somebody who's bringing in a huge amount of BOD and TSS and really causing a disturbance is, yeah, it's going to be a tough thing. We're going to have to work this out.
Yeah. So what is I guess, just to be clear, so without the surcharges, what is the other option? And I think that's what John is asking.
Categorizing your users and basing your sewer base rate off of that.
Okay. Okay.
Eric, I have a question. How many commercial or industrial businesses, because we obviously know that the ones that are the problem. So before all this work is put into it, how many businesses are causing the problem?
You want an honest answer from me on
Please.
my problem is sewer 3.
So 3 businesses are causing the problem that are going to cause all this extra work for
I
you.
don't know if that's even a fair question to answer.
Yeah. Well, I think we just have to
You know
align
what I
our.
mean? Sorry.
So it's going to be more work regardless. So we have to. So our code calls for surcharges as it is currently written. So I guess the question is do we take the same format of this code and develop these surcharges, or do we change the format of it and go through the different, I don't think they're going to be penalized by that in your water usage. That is really not the determination. And it's,
Yeah, if your business is doing the same thing as a home, flushing a toilet and running a faucet, you're not gonna exceed the BODs.
How do you know that? I'm having a hard time with that. How do you know that for a fact that it is just this business because we say it is and we test once a month? Like, I don't understand how you can pinpoint that it is strictly this user. I mean, there has to be more testing or a different, I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
I agree.
That's why the
And you can't
That's-
point fingers because every
can't.
business has the potential of doing
But
this.
right.
He knows who's doing it.
I can.
He can test in the manholes, right, Eric?
Yeah, I didn't hear that part. I'm sorry.
I
You
know,
can
I didn't
test
have my
in the
microphone.
manholes.
Excuse me.
You test from the manholes
Or
close to businesses.
or the business themselves. And we do have that.
So that part almost actually makes sense where a business
It's-
owner would submit a test from their location.
and the pre-treatment that was passed, what was that, in 2022, allows him to go onto the property and get the sample. There's a right of entry written into that.
Yeah.
My goal, I think our goal, all of our goals of all this is just fairness, but there are a few out there that are really should be fronting some, you know,
Yeah, things need to be addressed sooner than later.
Yeah.
Understood.
well,
And
With those three businesses. The ones that are causing the problem.
I,
yes, they are. Well, I'm communicating with one. I haven't seen any other compliance issues brought before me, any other files. So yes, there's one particular user that is, and they're working on fixing it. So some of it is being hauled off and then other parts. And they, they're like, oh, well, it calls for a surcharge. So what did,
that's
so
how all
I'm just
this
trying to
started.
address our code and how it's written. If it needs to be written a different way, that's fine. We need to address it. This is where, our code hasn't been addressed in a long time. And so how do we want to move forward with it? So it is equitable. So businesses that are, well within the thing are not seeing any kind of additional surcharge or anything like that. So
Because it says surcharge, I mean, could you just throw out a number and be like, well, how about this? Like,
I think it needs to be through the
right,
the pounds per day or the milligrams per liter or whatever.
right. but I'm
Milligrams per
asking, so
liter
this
would
has
be
been a problem
easiest.
For a while, so nobody charged a surcharge because there is no definition in the code.
Yes, that's correct. Oh, he said, what was it? Milligrams per liter was his way.
Would be easiest because that's what we test for. That's what we report to the EPA.
Yeah. So instead of doing the different, because it's a whole formula, you got to get the flow rate plus the concentration, and then you get pounds per day, and then you multiply it, and it's a lot of math.
Yeah,
Mitch would be great at it, but I would not be. So yeah, I mean, and we don't have to decide anything tonight. So I just wanted to let you know that this was an issue. It was asked of me to, so we have to come up with some kind of scenario, and maybe we can get more examples so we know that other commercial users aren't, and I don't think you would be hit with anything more than what you
Better categorize it commercial versus in residential. Yeah, well.
I think there's not a clear cut like that. I think he said there's 5 different categories.
Yeah, it's industrial, commercial, residential.
Yeah, there's industrial, commercial, da 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 da. And so, and then it's not just, oh, I'm a commercial business, I have a business license. It's the type of business, all of this. What is the use?
Seems like a lot of extra work just because every business is causing a problem.
It does, but our code needs to be revamped anyway, so we do need to take care of it, but.
So the next time we have this problem, it's clear cut. It's, oh, it's this surcharge for this, it's whatever. we decide on.
Yeah. Yeah.
With the max of 3 violations, I think that should be in there, 3 violations and then.
And I'll try to see how the issue is, just so you
The
know,
surcharges to cover the cost to mitigate
Mitigate
the pollutants that are going into the water from whatever.
yeah. So what happens is
So you can't.
so if the
cut them off.
lagoon gets
You
out of
just have
whack,
to keep charging them.
yeah. So if the lagoon gets out of whack, okay, Eric has to buy 55-gallon drums of these microorganisms that break it up. It's $4,800.
Yeah, it's a lot.
55-gallon drum of this stuff to dump into the lagoon. So that's what the surcharge would be for.
Yeah.
So to kind of mitigate those costs onto that. The issue is, of course, Ennis is, I think we're one of 3 or one of 4 communities that has a lagoon system that discharges into a river. So there's not a lot of comparables for us to be like, hey, how are you dealing with it? And I think that the towns that are having the same issues have the same outdated code that we do.
Yeah.
So
There's,
what do we do? So,
yeah, there's more than
I
3, but there's only 3 that address this problem. So
yeah,
the rest of them are small enough. where it's not a big deal for them. But I will say the rest of them also don't have the load that we do on our system, you know.
They don't have the type of users that we do.
Yes, exactly.
So it's probably not at the forefront of an issue for them. So,
Right.
so I will look at some other town. We can present two different ways. But if you want to do some research into other towns stuff, you're more than welcome to do so too. So
Good.
it wasn't anything that needed to be decided tonight. It was just that this is an issue before us and wanted you guys to have an idea of what it was. Because I've learned more about water and sewer than I would. So I know what a slug is now. So okay, so we'll move on. Okay, next one, personnel policy manual. That was in the drive. So ours hadn't been updated since 2009. So it's about time that needed to be done. I got a example from MMIA. And then I also reached out to West Yellowstone because a lot of towns, again, were in the same position that we were, that theirs was 20 years old as well. But West Yellowstone had recently updated theirs in 2024. So I used theirs and the example from MMIA to come up with the personnel policy manual. So wanted to put it before you. I believe I also emailed it to department heads. We're not going to vote on it tonight, but wanted to bring it up if there's anything. It was also in the drive. There's no page numbers on the table of contents because I wanted to make sure if there was any edits, I didn't have to rechange the page numbers. So if there's any change to the formatting, so is there any?
I read through the whole thing and it seemed pretty,
I read it too.
yeah, pretty boilerplate or standard.
Yeah. Let me tell you, if you get a job in West Yellowstone, the only thing edits, they'll pay for you to move. They'll pay for you. There was a whole bunch of things. And I was like, oh, wow, look at
It's
that.
a hard life out there.
Yeah, it really is. So they're trying.
Resort tax.
Yeah, they're trying. Yeah, they have a resort tax for sure. So that they're paying for some other things there. So I guess I'll just put it to department heads and other employees to review it. And if you have any comments, to please let us know that we will vote on it next meeting. So the biggest change I would say is so we will do, since we're under 50 employees, we are not required to do Family Medical Leave Act. So in lieu of that, we did, there is disability leave. There's more categorized leaves instead of the Family Medical Leave Act.
Thank you.
That's from what I could see, and that's what MMIA recommended. So, but there's bereavement leave, there's pregnancy, disability leave, parental leave, military leave, disability leave, leave of absence without pay, holiday leave, and some other things. I think there's even public office leave. So that's what jury duty. So yeah, those were the types of things that I would say that was the biggest change. So to encourage comments from employees and let me know. Okay. Workers' compensation discussion. Oh, as we all know, MMIA is not going to be offering workers' compensation any longer. So we have to find a new provider. So State Fund basically is, I think, the lowest price game in town. It was recommended to us through the listserv and whatever to get a local agent to deal with State Fund instead of dealing them directly. Said that if you have an issue or whatever, they can also be an advocate for you. So we've contacted Thurston Insurance here. They are a registered agent here in town. And so we submitted an application through them. And so we're waiting to hear on numbers. So I don't know the numbers, if the numbers would vary, if we need to reach out to several local agents. Mitch,
So
do
if
you
they're
have?
quoting it all from state fund, do you think that?
It
It
just
would be the
matters
same.
who your preferred rep is, because state funds is gonna be state fund, no
Yeah.
matter who you go with. They're
Okay,
not
does
gonna-
anyone else have
They're
a
not gonna
preferred?
negotiate a better rate for you.
Okay, I didn't, yeah. Yes.
So whomever you feel is reliable and, will be your front of the line defense
Okay,
if anything happens.
okay. If anyone else has someone else that they're want, just let me know.
I know of a couple in Bozeman,
Okay.
but not here.
Okay. That would be fine too. I'm open to whatever. It's ultimately your decision too. So just let me know. So that's where we're at with that. Okay. The next is a letter to the town. It's actually to the Department of Commerce, the Montana Heritage Commission, and the governor, and a letter in support of Virginia City.
And I apologize, it only got sent to you today. That was my fault. I was assigned to write this letter several weeks ago and it got wrote this morning.
Yeah.
So I apologize for dropping the ball on that.
So it was emailed. I don't know if you had the chance to read it. I'm happy to read it now. If you have any edits, do you want me to read it? Yeah, I'll read it. It's not that long. It's like 4 sentences. It says, dear to those folks, the town of Ennis would like to express our strong and sincere support for the community of Virginia City, a place that holds deep cultural and historical significance, not only for Madison County, but for the people of Montana as a whole. Virginia City represents a living connection to our state's heritage, and its continued stability is essential to preserving the stories, traditions, and character that define Montana. We are writing with concern regarding the recent cancellation of contracts with concessionaires. These businesses are an important part of historic experience and contribute to the local economy and regional tourism that benefits surrounding communities. Many visitors who explore Virginia City also spend time in Ennis and vice versa, creating a shared economic and cultural relationship between our towns. We respectfully encourage the Montana Department of Commerce and the Montana Heritage Commission to engage in an open, transparent dialogue with the concessionaires and with the broader Virginia City community. Thoughtful collaboration and good faith negotiation will help ensure that solutions are balanced, sustainable, and respectful of both fiscal responsibility and long-term preservation for the historic Montana treasure. The town of Ennis believes that working together with local stakeholders will strengthen trust and produce outcomes that support small businesses, protect Montana's heritage, and maintain the welcoming spirit that draws visitors to Southwest Montana year after year. We stand ready to support efforts that preserve Virginia City's legacy while fostering a vibrant and resilient future for our communities. Just says sincerely, the town of Ennis. We would all sign it. So
Fix my mistakes.
good job. I added, a little grammar and a couple paragraphs, so it wasn't, wasn't all just a block. So and I think it just, we don't want to make, of course, the folks at the Department of Commerce angry or anything like that, but I just say, hey, give them a fair shake.
Yeah.
They are, bring in a third party mediator if necessary, or, that's all we're saying is, that it would be good. Cause, for instance, Bob's Place, I think Kirk has been there since concessionaire started in Virginia City. So from when the state first bought it. So he was the first concessionaire in that spot. So, so anyway, so I think it's just a good thing to lend a letter of support just to say we're thinking about them, and if there's any way we can help to let's.
And it's 15% straight off the bottom.
We're off the top.
Or
Off the top,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
off revenue.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And they've already
Gross,
had,
not net.
and they've already had, I think the The Opera House chose not to. The Star Bakery, I believe, chose not to. So I don't know who you're gonna get to run the Opera
The
House.
the ice cream store is gone.
Well, the ice cream store, are they selling though, or
So,
they,
yeah, sale.
there's
Yeah.
for sale? So yeah,
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 They
it's
don't
def-
want to deal with it either, though.
yeah.
My whole question is, where'd they come up with 15%? You know, I mean, the state charges us 3% of gross to use the river. And that seems egregious to me at the end of the year writing that check. But it's 3% of overall gross for us. So I figured 3%, that would be the same.
Yeah. Well, and it's almost like all those buildings are different. Some have running water, some have don't, it's like they need a third party to come in there and be like, and they only operate for 90 days, which is really probably only like 60 days,
60, yeah.
Yeah, and so it's like, could you get,
Which goes down to like 40 really good days because you got weather and all these other variables.
and it's almost like, could they have a third party come in? What is the market value on those instead of just some arbitrary number? So, but my family enjoys going to Virginia City. We like that it's quirky and fun, with the individual concessionaires. So I hope that they can work something out. So, if you're okay with that letter, I would take a motion.
I'll move to approve to send the letter from the town of Ennis in support of the town of Virginia City.
A second.
Any discussion? Any edits? Okay, call the vote. Christie?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Nikki?
Aye.
Okay, thanks, Corey. All right.
I
Okay.
think we skipped the MMIA.
That's
bulletin.
exactly
I'm
what I was gonna
sorry.
say.
I'm sorry. MMIA bulletin.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you, Mitch.
Yeah,
I'm
that
sorry.
was
I have a
mine.
note right here.
Yeah,
Uh,
the MMIA bulletin came out. In there is a short blurb about the Montana 250 sponsorship program. And it's for 4th of July celebrations, and a sponsorship, you can apply for one between $500 and $5,000. I know the town does not sponsor the 4th of July parade. However, I don't see why we cannot contribute.
I think there's a lot of costs that are incurred in every year more, especially with parking and all that stuff. If we have money to pay people instead of looking for volunteers,
Yep.
there's a lot more costs.
Yeah, I did reach out to the chamber.
Brittany?
Yep,
Or
I
Stephanie?
sent this to her and said, hey, you need help? We're talking about this Thursday night. Maybe Stephanie wasn't available, but I was like, give us your idea. It's because they do pay for like the bagpipers and stuff like that. So I think I would like to have some concrete costs of
Right.
when we apply. But the deadline is coming up. I think it's at the end,
19th
on
is
the
the
19th.
beginning when you can start to apply.
when you can start to apply. So, and I don't know how they're going to disperse it, if it's first come, first serve, or if they're going to judge them, or what they
Not
were
enough
gonna-
information.
Yeah, exactly. So there's
Never
not.
any information.
So, yes. So if you are, I don't know if we can just say right now and just say right now, like, yes, we would support an application in collaboration with the Chamber of Commerce, then we do that. So then that way, when the 19th rolls around, if I need to sign it, I can do so. Yeah. Or if you have things at the library that you're doing.
No, we've already received a 10,000 grant from the Montana 250th.
Oh, wow.
So if there's some way if you read further in that grant, if there's some way to tie them together, if that gives you more weight, let me know.
Okay.
And I'll get you whatever information you need.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you. Does anyone have any ideas? Anything different for the 4th of July? I know they did the flyover one year. Was that last year? Or the
No,
No,
that's a
that's
couple
2
years
years
ago.
ago.
2 years ago. So I didn't know if that cost money or what I was hoping they would be here tonight, but I know it was kind of a.
Yeah, I'm meeting with Stephanie tomorrow at 1
Oh,
to
okay.
talk Fly Fishing Festival stuff.
Yeah.
So I'll mention this when I chat with her.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. So we have a motion to support a application.
I move to support the application between the chamber and the town, potential application between the chamber and the town for this grant.
I'll second.
Okay, call the vote. John?
I,
Aye.
Aye,
Okay,
I did.
okay. Great West Engineering Contract Amendment. So this is our contract for, and it does, you know what, Colette said she would hop on, so let me text her. Someone just signed up?
Eric's back, but someone else kind of popped in and out.
Okay, so maybe I'll just let her know we're ready.
here, do you want to?
I have it. I got it. I found it.
I got it right there.
I will read that one.
I like using the AI. So you don't have to read the whole
I
thing.
did the same thing.
Yes, okay, so basically this is the engineering, we can wait. Part of it is, we can put some language in there that, let me see it from Colette to not start on, because this is both, there is some, it includes both parts, a small part of phase one, but the bulk of it is phase two. And so we can put some language in there to, not come, it doesn't start until phase two is, till the land is secured. So we can do that as well. So Colette was gonna hop on, but
So my summary of it is just that prices could have gone up since this was originally signed. Is that what the amendments about? I'm a little confused.
I think so. It's our initial amendment of our on-call planning.
Okay.
And then now, and we did, this was amendment number 7. So there
Okay.
have been 6 other amendments for
Alright,
other things going that we've done. So, but this is the largest one based upon these, this project. So for the engineering for the
Phase 2 of the project.
yeah, part of phase 1 and part, let's see. It is it does include construction services for the well project also, which we need to access starting this month as we begin to review submittals, hold pre-construction meeting and other coordinations efforts with the coordinator. If the council is open to approving it with the caveat, we won't commence work on the tank until property is secured, that would be helpful. So we can put that language in there that work on the phase 2 won't begin until.
Actually have some dirt to do it. So we need a motion?
Yeah, I do need a motion.
Yeah, I need a motion to sign this Great West Engineering contract amendment.
I move to sign the contract amendment with Great West with the condition that they don't start phase 2 until the property is secured for the water tank.
Second.
Any other discussion? Okay. Move to call for vote. Nikki?
Aye.
Aye.
Christie?
Aye.
John? Okay, perfect. Okay. Website update. So, Brenna did some work looking into different municipal impact or different website providers. Municipal Impact, I believe, works with Three Forks. They gave us an estimate on what it would take to get a website with them and then also transfer over the data that we currently have. So she did get another, there was another one for Civics Plus. That one was like 4 times this one amount, so I didn't think it was worth it.
Yeah, this is really low.
Yeah,
Or
I'm trying,
lower than I would expect.
yeah,
Let's say.
so, and let me, I believe municipal,
Where am I missing this?
it's in the, it is
The
under
packet?
number, it's 8H. Municipal impact website estimate and correspondence. So, and I want to say municipal impacts does, Three Forks, I think is there. She had a list of, let's see if I can pull that up, a list of other towns that use municipal impact. There was, the bigger towns did use Civics Plus. But they were significantly more.
So they're saying it's $1,361 for the subscription and that, and another $1,000 to transfer our content.
Yes.
Where would our website be hosted? Are they
It's
going to host it?
It's hosted with GoDaddy.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, and it's currently done at that. So this
This
switching
doesn't
it.
Yeah, yeah.
include the hosting fees.
Yeah, it does not.
That's what I was asking.
Yeah, it does not include the hosting fees. So it would switch over. So they do other
There's a
towns.
One time, like setup fee, every time we change and add stuff, is that gonna be?
No, I think what they're, if I'm reading this the way I'm used to, when you bring somebody in to take over a website and move things, they have to set up the framework
Build a whole new, yeah.
to bring the
Yeah.
content in. That's what that is. I think our annual subscription would cover, it says software updates,
Changing it.
upgrades, changes, yeah. Unlimited customer support.
Didn't that, I can't remember her name. She has to do with the skate park.
Yeah.
Didn't she offer? her
You know,
system?
our website on our WordPress site is, I would just like something easy
Right.
that we can do. And I don't, if they're offering unlimited support, that type of thing, as much as I'd love to say if someone's volunteering to do it, but since that is not her primary position.
It's really nice to have someone to call.
Yeah, and say, hey, and yeah.
I would just say, if you check out Freeport's website or other websites, they're very clean.
Yeah.
They do Three Forks, Whitehall, Sheridan, Deer Park, and Broadus.
Yeah. So towns of similar size.
Yeah.
When you get into Bozeman, Butte, they all have the Civic Plus, but it was substantially more. I wonder if she sent it to me, but I know we were talking about it in the office one day, and she was like, "Oh," and it was one of those like we had a call with them, and then he wouldn't even give her a price on that call. She had to set up another call, and I was, let's see, municipal websites. Because I want to say it was like the base price was 3,800, and then okay, here we go. Excuse me. Additional live training. So a standard department header page, $2,900, an $813 annual fee. PDF remediation. It's just like it broke it down to like all these. If you needed everything, it was going to be like $10,000. So
that's normally what it costs.
I was gonna say, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. So I think if you're able to pull up threeforks.us, it's a very simple site. And what Brenna really liked about municipal is they had the ADA compliance or ADA compatibility, which was really nice. And I'm sure that Civics Plus does too, but it just seems like they were hitting all the things. So I don't know if anyone.
What's our
But-
current website cost?
I don't know,
Just curious.
but it's I can tell you from having to post on it, it's not very user friendly. And so
Okay.
this has, it's a much cleaner, if you
is-
have someone
I was
who's,
just curious.
Yeah. Just brought it up.
I was just curious. That's all.
Yeah,
That's nice.
yeah, it's clean, not fancy, but
I think it gets the job done.
yeah.
So, and
So you guys can.
no, I just,
You guys can
yeah,
do
I
it on
think
your
it's within the, I just think it's within the, it is within the IT budget. You know, we'll have to adjust that for the contract services anyway. So, and when we talk to Jody Rogers, there's going to be other budget amendments to be done. And since we have to have public hearings for them, it was her recommendation that we just wait and towards the end of the fiscal year and do them all at once.
That's a good
Would-
idea.
Would this new website be compatible with the water
Yeah.
payment
Yep.
stuff that we're?
Yep, so we could just have something, so you see down in
Payment
Three
button on there.
Forks, it just says pay anything and you click that one. And ours will have either pay water sewer bill or it'll have a miscellaneous category. And when you hit miscellaneous, it'll be like pay for a dog license, business license, zoning fees, anything. And then it will have another other category in case there is something else that is not listed. So if it's a random charge or whatever. So I just wanted to, that's what, Brenna came up with, that seemed to be accessible, as far as, a price point. Just wanted to get your feedback on that.
I like it. I think it's a very economical way to go. I can't tell you how much we pay for our website.
Yeah. It's really cheap. I don't know why those numbers are so cheap.
So you need a motion on this?
I don't think that I do,
Okay.
but if you wanted to, you're welcome to do that as well.
I vote for municipal impact. I like the way the Three Forks looks and I like the boat layouts. It's a good one. I'll second.
It was a motion to,
Motion to approve contracting with municipal impact to manage our website.
And Nikki seconded.
Thanks.
Just to dovetail into that, the budget categories that have been depleted, does that money kick back over in to help pay for these expenses?
I think what he's asking is if we've removed budget items from the budget, does the money go back into the pot to be used in other areas?
if it's within the general fund, yes.
Yes.
And we will correct that towards the fiscal year. We have some amendments to make and those require a public hearing. And we'll do those towards the end of the fiscal year. Because there have been several with the ARPA fund. That was a bit of a mess, to be honest. So Jody Rogers with the Montana League of Cities and Towns, we'll have to have some budget amendments because of that. The ARPA, I think there's a budget amendment with the library. That'll be a budget amendment with IT. But as long as it's within the same general fund, or if it's within the library fund and they're moving line items around.
Right.
Yeah, it would be okay.
But I mean, like with the website or the IT department
Yep,
going to a third
yes,
party now.
yes.
yep, that's
that all
okay.
transfers over.
Yes,
Oh, okay. Thank you.
you bet. Okay. All right, commission comments. Oh, wait, we didn't vote. Okay, sorry. Commissioner Abernathy.
Aye.
Hardy.
Hi.
Thank you. All right, commission comments.
I'm excited to be here for the next 2 years, to work diligently with you all.
Well put.
I think, we ought to look forward. I know it's a year and a half out, but the legislative session's already getting cranked up in Helena. And I was up there and in Helena last week and got to have dinner with some folks that are players up there. And it feels like it started way earlier. I mean, there's already bill drafts floating around for the next legislative session. And what I've noticed that over the last 2 legislative sessions, which concerns me, is that being a tourist town that, maybe rightfully so, maybe not, but it feels like people are blaming all Montana's problems on tourism. And, milking the golden goose for all she's worth. And I've seen that bill the last 2 legislative sessions, and the bill drafts that have come across my desk since last week reinforce that. So I think we just need to be kind of diligent here in the next year and kind of tuned into that as the legislative session gets closer, because I think it's going to be a crazy, powerful one. I was hoping I was going to be out of it by then and never, ever, ever have to go to the Capitol building ever again. But I'm not sure that's the case. I think we just need to be diligent because it's going to be a powerful one. It's the governor's last legislative session, lieutenant governor's last legislative session. They want to ram through before the election of the new governor for the next session. I'm really concerned after what I saw last weekend. So, especially for small tourist towns. And, all the stuff going on in Virginia City, it's all very concerning to me. So,
Yeah.
that's all I got out of one dinner in Helena.
I don't have very much. I just.
You were in Costa Rica.
The jungle.
I didn't miss it.
Well, I had a few phone calls with the mayor. Signed up to go to the training in Bozeman. I need a date on that. I can't find a date for that anymore.
Okay, we'll find you a date. So,
Brenna signed up too.
okay,
So we could probably drive together. But,
okay.
Yeah, well, I'll be attending the training that MSU is putting on. But mostly dealing with, helping the mayor with some, personnel and HR questions related to her handbook that she's put together. So
It's been very helpful. And here's a report. Can you tell me what it
is?
Is your training just a 1 day?
It is a 1 day. Yeah. I forget. It's the
municipal. I remember you sending, you'd like to go to, because I think I sent it to everyone.
Municipal Local Government Center training. She asked me if I ever got a confirmation for the training session, and I never did.
Okay.
So, but then she asked me if I had any dietary restrictions. So
yeah,
I'm sure she put it in. I just didn't get an email.
Okay. Oh, let's see. Okay, that was something you already taken. Well, have her confirm the date.
Yeah, just found it.
Oh, you did? Okay.
It's February 18th.
Okay, so that's next week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Right.
There is no meeting location yet.
Oh, okay, we'll figure it out. They usually go to like Spring Hill Suites or something like that.
I'm sure it'll be
Close by.
Yeah, I was on vacation as well. Did attend a planning board meeting on Wednesday. Yeah, we definitely need more people for the planning board. I hope Stephanie.
know, I'll be honest, y'all kind of pissed me off.
Oh.
Really did. First thing you asked me when I came from my time last time was, why wouldn't I quit? Because 3 people had resigned me. I looked at you and I told you, I said, 'cause I don't give up. You put somebody in my place that did give up. Not pointing fingers at Christie, I didn't like that, but just meaning literally. John brought up something about where I live. That's been in question for over a year now. But places came to my house and looked at it and made sure where I live. And then you want to go back and question everything that I voted on last year, because I lived in the same place last year. So do you think I'm not a little bit ill about it? I don't really know why you did that. I don't know what the reasoning behind it was, why you made the decision you made, but I can tell you, I think you screwed up. I'll be honest with you, I've volunteered for every damn thing that you had. I paid it out of my own pocket for everything that was participated in. It didn't make me happy, because you turned around for it, and I'm not mad at you, but I'm saying, you actually asked Christie a while ago, why wouldn't she quit again? And I'll be honest with you, I don't know the answer to that either, but good luck with it, and that's all I can say on that. So, I mean, I'm just a person that doesn't say stuff behind your back. I'm gonna tell you up front how I feel. Volunteered for a lot of stuff at the library to help donate. Yeah, and I really think you have something to do with asking me where I live at, and I was honest with you and told you about that. So it better not come down to this has a darn thing to do where I live at.
Okay. Well, not the time in this particular agenda item. So, to
No, but I
address.
just want you to know exactly how I feel about it.
Okay. Okay.
If I don't want to be on the housing board, I would probably apply for the housing board, and you actually probably would have got somebody who would have done every board you needed. Because today when you asked
Okay,
questions,
okay.
I mean, jobs that I have,
Miss
and a lot of free time.
Miss Sally, you don't have the floor. Okay, so I'm gonna call for order there. I'm sorry you're disappointed. Okay,
It's not disappointed, I feel like it was something. There's nothing that you can tell me, I guarantee you, that I was not prepared to do for this city.
okay, I guess with that, why didn't you sign up for the seat when it was in June? I guess that's the question.
That actually was brought up in this.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So, okay,
It was
so,
asked, and that was because the legislature had changed something, it was moved up for 2 weeks early. Remember, we're talking about that, you don't. It was moved up, so I did not know that I was supposed to register. I came over here, spoke to Ginger, went through all of that with her. And she said, just reapply, and that's exactly what I did. So do I feel like I'm more than qualified? Absolutely. I was already in a position of working on all this stuff anyway. So y'all can take care of it yourself now.
all right.
I
Well,
guess.
I guess that's a hard no.
It's a hard no on the planning board. Okay.
Well, I think it's important that we have our Main Street represented for sure.
Can you have 2 commissioners on the planning board?
No,
Because
I don't
he's
think
not
so.
on the planning board?
He's
I-
on the planning board. So we need to, and it would really be best to have more citizens on the planning board because those decisions, you know, he would be voting on it twice essentially. So, and it really would be good to get more of a recommendation for the Montana legislature. We can advocate that, you know, they should do a tiered system and that you shouldn't have to have 7, that maybe we could have 5 or even 4, right? So, anyway, we're getting off topic there. Do you have any more comments?
Teach you to ask.
No.
Oh, I commend her, wanting to be involved and, like I said, I'm sorry that she's upset. Um, Sometimes hard decisions have to be made and for whatever reason. So, okay.
She can run again in 2 years though. And put it.
Um, yeah. So what have I been up to? Quite a bit. So I worked on the policy manual that you saw, put that together. Not a formatting genius, so that it took a little bit. The update on the ARPA funding is that Jody Rogers the U.S. Treasury did allow her to go back in and make the corrections in the reporting errors that happened. So those were submitted this week. Now we just wait to hear. So the Montana League of Cities and Towns is advocating on behalf of ourselves, and Big Sandy was the other community that fell into that reporting error portion, and so, or situation, and so we're hoping. So if you know any, of the Montana delegation, you might want to give Tim Sheehy a call or Senator Daines or Zinke a call, and because that could help us out. So that we don't have to return $175,000. So that's where we're at. We've been working with DIS to take over the IT needs of the town. So that has been going pretty well. They've been working with us on Google Workspace, all the passwords. There's two more passwords that need to be reset, but their concern was to do it during working hours because if, things went awry, they didn't want things to happen during the working day. So they're going to do it over the weekend, and then everything else should be handled that way. I've had meetings with a couple of users on the sewer system for compliance. We've had a couple of outstanding charges for water and sewer hookups that I have contacted those folks and are optimistic that we can work an agreement where they get those paid instead of waiting for a house to sell, just a lien that they actually pay. So, using a little bit of leverage that we have, that we do control, the water system. So if you should pay your connection fees if you want water. So also been working with Brenna on systems for different things. She's been really great to work with on, just identifying areas that could use, better communication or just a system in place. She's actually came up with a list of things that she does on a daily basis, and so then that way, we have a checklist. Let's see. I went to the planning board meeting. I attended that. I also met with Cody Markser, the county planner. And so we kind of came up with a checklist and list of priorities that came out of the growth policy. So we need to come up with an annexation policy, subdivision regulations, zoning regulations, maybe a multimodal plan, a capital improvement plan. And maybe to help us in zoning with adjusting the forms. Some of the forms are outdated and not really accurate as to reflect the information that we need. So she was super helpful with that. So worked with Jody Rogers on getting her access to all the accounts that she does to be able to do their job. Was on a call, for the grant administration for the water project, that there was like 10 people on that call. It's amazing what it takes to administer some grants. So that's so that took some time. So yeah, that is what I have been up to this month. So Paramount, sorry we are so late. I just like to bring things to just to know what's going on, so we know what's coming down the pipes. So then that way, when you have an ordinance or a resolution in front of you, there's some backstory and no one is surprised. So just let me know if the format doesn't work for you and we'll try to keep it concise moving forward. But that's where we're at. So.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Yeah.
Is the planning board meetings, are they online at all?
So they were, yes, they are online. So we'll do,
Oh, okay.
well, there was recorded last night. We were about 10 to 15 minutes in before it started to get recorded, but we will get those, and we have access to the YouTube site, so we can start posting them there too, but they are recorded. It's our other hope. I don't think Karen brought up the owl. We would like to try a new format instead of these mics, and to try that. Our only, I think, limitation is to where it gets plugged into the computer. We might have to get a longer cord so it can sit in the center here. We were hoping to try that out with the planning board meeting last night, but we ran out of time to get that accomplished. So, and to fiddle around with it and to find out the best mode. So, but I do hear you on the need to be able to listen effectively from other places. So. Any other questions for me?
Thank you for all your hard work.
I'm trying. So.
Yeah, I was gonna throw in to her before she left that, I mean, the amount of things that you accomplished from that same seat in the back of the room was astounding. Honestly, so when somebody comes up and complains, oh, I live out of town, I can't do anything, you know.
There's a lot of things in motion. Like the one thing, and I told Cody Markser this, and I was hoping that Stephanie would be a part of it. And all the planning documents that I've been a part of or researched, whatever, we all have this Western character. It's in our documents, probably thousands, at least hundreds of times, if not thousands of times at this point. We need a definition of that, what that means on the ground. What does that mean? Does that mean board and bat siding? Does that mean use of wood or wood-like things and stone? Is it a mix of those things? And so I think if we can come together as a community and make that definition for ourselves, it's going to be easier for us to put that into a code. So, because right now our code is a little vague, which is okay. But when people are wanting to build, they want to kind of that black and white. But then they also want, if there is a special project, we want to leave some flexibility for it as well. So that's what I'm trying. So that's what I would like, and that's what I've been telling people around town. Like, tell me what that means to you. Because when I was at a listening session for something else, someone else was like, oh, I just love this little town and da 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 da. If we only had a Starbucks, and I almost fell out of my chair because that is not small town to me. But to this person it was. And so that was just like a glaring, like, reality of different things mean what it means, totally different things to other people, and what I would consider. I hear you. That's why I sat there and I was like, oh, we can't do that. So, so if that's the one thing we can get done, but Cody is really willing to help us. Well, she said the annexation is pretty straightforward, and actually the way that the state is coming down with subdivision regulations, it's using one format. So it's trying to get everybody consistent throughout the state of Montana. So, and then it would tailor to our community. So those seems to be the bigger ones, but we are going to have some, we're probably going to have some, and especially about the water rates and the meters and stuff like that. Those are big challenges, but at the same time, they're really necessary. So, it's going to be a hard pill to swallow, but having running water and sewer to your house is a really big, important.
Do you know if work has started from the construction?
I don't believe that it has. I think he was going to be starting in March, but the driller might be available sooner because he was the original subcontracted driller with our previous bidder. So, or So we're hoping that in March it'll start, but so.
They get it done.
Yeah, I think that he's doing a similar project in Roberts, Montana. So I'm hoping so. Yeah. So I'm very thankful. So anyway, thank you. And oh, wait.
I move to adjourn.
Thank you. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Corey moves to adjourn.
Just send me in the lines then. What's that? Oh, did you? Oh, did not know that. And here's the thing. The interview with her was all balls and strikes. Yes. Oh, did I not sign?
Thank you. Lisa, do I need to, am I on there or not? You can sign, I think there's a blank spot. It doesn't matter, I can sign. There is a, it just says commissioner. Are you driving? Well, I've been driving this. You're not.
Oh, yeah.
No, just to sign one, because I was watching your driver and I'm like, that's. You just refill it?
I do, I buy the Ennis. I've had this for over 20 years.
I don't know how you keep something.
I have a rule in
How
my,
do you not? I know, how do you not? I have a Christmas package that's
I have a rule at the store, nobody touches my pen.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Nope. No, I don't think we should. Yeah, we leave it. Leave it. Last few meetings, I'm scared I'm gonna walk in.
I'm so good I didn't have to be on that committee. I didn't think she was gonna be that.
here's the thing. We're gonna do both of them, and I said, when we interviewed, it was just balls and strikes. It was just questions that, and we made a decision. If we made the wrong decision.